The whole thing kicks off with a major throwback. Our guy is learning photography from his grandpa, who's dropping some serious wisdom about how to take a good picture. The secret sauce? You actually have to care. It's a whole vibe, but his parents are fighting, setting a kinda tense mood. We get a glimpse of a hand-drawn map from his childhood, which is low-key adorable. It shows all the important spots like his grandpa's cabin and where the deer live. It's this pure, innocent view of his world before everything got complicated and adulting hit him like a truck. Grandpa is basically laying down the entire philosophy of the game right here. He says a good photo isn't about the gear or the settings, it's about making the picture know that you care. It's a pretty deep concept, trying to capture a feeling, not just an image, you know? Fast forward, and time is doing that thing where it just flies by. The main character, we learn, is Eugene, watches his hometown change until it doesn't even feel like home anymore. So he dips and heads to the city with his camera, chasing that photographer dream his grandpa inspired. Eugene's life in the city is a montage of wins and major losses. He gets a job, gets married, and for a second it feels like he's made it. But then his wife leaves, the company shuts down, and even a cafe he opens with friends eventually fails. The universe was not on his side. Now he's 40, and life has served him a massive reality check. His grandpa's funeral is coming up, and in a moment of peak despair, he sells the camera that's been with him forever. He's completely given up on the idea that he can capture things to make them stay. His friend Hal is not having it. He finds out Eugene sold his camera and is genuinely pressed, trying to give him money to get it back. But Eugene is deep in his flop era, insisting he's done with photography for good. It's clear this camera meant a lot to more than just him. The family drama is real. Eugene gets a call from his dad who's rushing him to the funeral and throwing shade about his divorce. Eugene claps back about his grandpa being missing for decades, so why the rush now? The tension is thick enough to cut with a knife, for real. Stuck in a tunnel with a road closure, Eugene is just spiraling. He's screaming at his younger self not to grow up to be like him, a total mood for anyone who's ever felt lost. It's this raw moment of regret right before things get super weird and supernatural on him. Suddenly his phone and keys are just gone. Poof. He's trapped in this foggy, abandoned tunnel that feels straight out of a horror game. It's giving major Silent Hill vibes, and he's starting to realize this is way more than just a standard traffic jam. The panic is setting in. Out of nowhere, a kid shows up and warns him that some creepy black monster, a shade, is coming for them. They make a run for it, escaping the tunnel only to find themselves in a mysterious forest. The situation went from bad to absolutely unhinged in seconds. What is even happening? After that chaotic chase, Eugene tries to get some answers from the kid, but they're giving nothing. The kid doesn't know their name or their parents, only that they need to get to the mountain. Eugene, despite being confused, decides he can't just leave a kid alone here. A massive, glowing deer spirit just rolls up and offers Eugene an old-school camera. The kid says the deer wants a picture, and suddenly Eugene is roped into a supernatural photo shoot. This whole world has its own set of rules, and he's learning them on the fly. It's wild. The deer, whose name is Suta, lays down the main quest. It tells Eugene that the kid is a fading walker, and to get back to his own world, he must take her home to the mountain. The camera he was given is the key to finding the way. No pressure or anything. Hi there. If you want to enjoy more gaming lore without grinding for 60 hours, hit that subscribe button. I do the grinding so you don't have to. Your support really helps the channel. They find a weird factory with a fireplace that's literally watching them. Words appear in the flames, asking for a photo of a fireball. Eugene figures it's the same deal as the deer. He has to take a picture of these spirits to communicate with them and move forward. The fireball gives them a map, and the kid instantly knows how to read it. There's a train that goes to a city at the bottom of the mountain they need to reach. Finally, a concrete goal. Now they just have to find the station without getting got by any more shadow monsters. They run into a giant ox spirit who is having a full-blown existential crisis, not even remembering its own name. The kid tells Eugene to take its picture, basically making him the designated spirit photographer. He's got to see these spirits to save them from fading away into nothing. The ox, now remembering he exists, warns them that the kid is fading too. It tells Eugene he has to take her photo, but Eugene can't see her through the camera. The ox suggests they go to the Nameless city and find the Seer to get her picture taken before she disappears. At the train station, they meet Nisa, a dog-like spirit who is waiting for the Seer. She's initially salty, thinking Eugene is a fake, but when she finds out the kid is fading, she agrees to call the train for them, though they have to figure out how to get tickets themselves. Somehow, taking a picture of a vending machine actually works and gets them the train tickets. Nissa is impressed and agrees to let them ride with her. This world's logic is just built different. You just gotta take a picture of your problems and hope for the best, I guess. On the train, the kid still doesn't have a name, so Eugene just decides to call her Ren. This name seems to trigger something for Nissa, hinting at a deeper connection between all these characters and the mysterious Seer they're all looking for. The plot is definitely thickening now. Eugene suddenly finds himself in a surreal memory space, seeing his own childhood photos. He relives a conversation with his dad about making totems and the value of photography. It's the first major hint that this journey is deeply connected to his own past and his family trauma. He's thrown into another memory, this time with his grandpa Suta. His grandpa tells him that if you care about something, you have to capture it in a photo before it disappears. This core theme is hitting hard now, as Eugene is literally trying to stop Ren from disappearing. He snaps out of the dream and is back on the train with Ren. The train makes an announcement about a faded spirit disappearing, which freaks Ren out. The reality of fading is setting in, and the quest to find the Seer suddenly feels a lot more urgent. The stakes are getting higher. Eugene tries to comfort a scared Ren by telling her a story about his own failures as a photojournalist. He says if anyone deserves to disappear, it's him, not a kid. It's a vulnerable moment where he starts to see this journey as a chance for some kind of personal redemption. The shade attacks the train, and it's absolute chaos. Eugene has to use the camera to fight it off, but he keeps getting pulled into these intense dreamlike states, where he relives more of his past. The line between reality and his memories is getting seriously blurred. In another memory, he's a child in the dark room with Grandpa Suta, learning about the ancient names of things and how seers can understand them. Grandpa explains that Nosa is the ultimate god of the mountain. This is some deep lore that's clearly connected to what's happening to him now. The memories jump forward to his young adulthood. He meets Morris, a professional photographer who becomes his mentor and gets him a job at Viewpoint magazine. This was the start of his dream, but it's tinged with the sadness of knowing how it all falls apart later on. It's bittersweet. The train has crashed and everyone is trying to survive. Ren is fading fast, and Nissa tells Eugene he has to use his finding eye, the camera, to save a missing passenger. He's being pushed into this seer role, whether he likes it or not. He's the only one who can help. With Ren now so weak she can barely walk, Eugene has to carry her. In a quiet moment, she tells him that he's a nice guy for helping all these spirits. It's a small, sweet interaction that shows how much their bond has grown since they first met in that creepy tunnel. As they travel, the group forms a weird little found family. Ren's narration gives us this wholesome update on their dynamic, with Eugene and the conductor being grumpy but good-hearted, and Nisa rolling her eyes at them. Even in this strange world, they found a connection. The crew is almost at the Nameless city. Ren is optimistic, saying that after all they've been through, it has to be good. It's a moment of hope. A belief that finding the Seer will solve everything, even though Eugene's own experiences have made him way more cynical about happy endings. Eugene gets pulled into another memory, this time of his grandpa teaching him about Nosa and the sacred fire. His grandpa talks about the stars being the fires of souls who have reached the summit of their own personal mountains. This spiritual lore is getting more and more relevant. The memories get darker, showing a young Eugene finding his grandpa lost in the fog, his eyesight failing. Then, a memory of his grandpa carrying him when he was sick with a fever. These moments show the deep love and burden of care that defined their relationship. It's heavy stuff. They finally arrive at the outskirts of the Nameless city, but it's an abandoned wasteland. The conductor, whose name is Tonko, explains that the Shade already destroyed this area ages ago. It's a grim welcome and a sign that the city might not be the safe haven they were hoping for. Eugene is thrown into a memory of his teenage activist days, protesting development on the mountain with his childhood friends. It's a stark contrast to his current self, showing a time when he was full of fire and believed he could protect his home with his camera and his voice. They finally enter the Nameless city, and it's super eerie and empty. The few spirits they meet are paranoid and hiding from the Shade, having forgotten who they are. They've been told not to look, speak, or think, which is the exact opposite of what Eugene has been learning to do. They find the Seer's old shop, but it's been completely wrecked by the Shade. They meet a bear spirit named Vasa, who tells them the Seer's friends might know where he went. Eugene has to find them and help them remember who they are, continuing his role as the unofficial new Seer. After helping the Seer's friends remember their names, they all have a party. They toast to Eugene as the new Seer. It's a moment of community and joy in a city defined by fear and isolation. He came here looking for help, but he ended up being the one to bring everyone together. The spirits share their stories about the old Seer. They reveal he went up Dusk Mountain to find a solution after the Shade destroyed his cafe, which he opened after his boss went missing. It becomes clear the Seer's story is mirroring Eugene's own life in some seriously specific ways. Before he leaves for the mountain, Eugene takes a group photo with all the friends he's made in the city. They all record messages for the old Seer, full of forgiveness and hope. It's a powerful moment of closure for them and a send-off for Eugene on the next leg of his journey. In a moment of vulnerability, Eugene opens up to a sleeping Ren about all his failures. His failed marriage, losing his friends, his boss disappearing because of him. He confesses that he feels like he ruins everything he touches, revealing the deep-seated guilt that's been haunting him this whole time. His memory flashes to his mentor, Roy, the boss he looked up to so much. Roy tells him he's dug too deep with his journalism and should quit before it's too late, even offering to help him open a cafe. It's a chilling piece of foreshadowing, knowing that Roy eventually disappears. They begin the climb up Dusk Mountain and find an abandoned movie theater. Inside, a horse spirit, who is a manifestation of his ex-wife Irene, tells him the seer fled to a temple further up the mountain to escape his own shade. The journey is getting more personal and metaphorical by the minute. Eugene is trapped in another memory, this one of his mentor Morris's final photo shoot, which took place in his hometown. Morris tells him he's a natural at portraits and encourages him to pursue his own path. It's a memory of validation and hope from a father figure he desperately needed. Continuing up the mountain, they reach a valley with a temple destroyed by the shade. A fish spirit, representing his mother, is there, full of regret. She says she wishes the seer could forgive her. This encounter is clearly forcing Eugene to confront his feelings about his own mother leaving. As the shade attacks them again, Eugene gets pulled into the game's biggest reveal yet. The cabin. It's his grandpa's actual cabin, and he's trapped inside his own mind, forced to relive the most traumatic moments of his past. The spirit world was just a prelude to this. Inside the cabin, Suta appears to him. He reveals that Ren, his walker, is the key, and that she came to him because her own sacred fire burns bright. He instructs Eugene to develop the film from his past to understand his true self and find his way out of the darkness. He flashes back to a huge fight with his friend over their differing paths in life, with Eugene wanting to fight corporations and his friend needing to take a job to support his family. It's a memory soaked in the bitter regret of a friendship lost to pride and circumstance. Eugene finds himself back in the cabin's dark room. He has to follow his grandpa's instructions: develop, stop, fix, and rinse. He has to literally process his old, painful memories to move forward. Ren's voice begs him to stop, to just forget, but he knows he has to see it through. After developing the photos and confronting his past, Eugene's head is finally clear. The magical camera is gone, but he understands now. He follows the embershine petals his grandpa always talked about, which lead him to a memory of his mother leaving when he was just a little kid. The truth finally crystallizes. After all the memories, all the spirits, Eugene finally sees Ren clearly. In a mind-bending twist, Ren transforms into his younger self. Ren is Eugene. The fading child was his own inner child, lost to years of trauma, whom he had to bring home. With the truth revealed, they talk. Eugene as his adult self, and Ren as his child self. They acknowledge the sadness of his past, but accept it. Ren explains she was guided by a purple butterfly light, a memory of his ex-wife, to find Eugene and help him. They decide to climb the mountain together. As they near the summit, all the spirits they've helped return to give them a final boost. The journey becomes a wild ride on spirit animals through fragmented memories of all the places they've been. It's a climactic, symbolic race to the finish, powered by the connections he's reforged. They make it to the top. It's just a foggy peak, no god, no magic solution. Ren tells Eugene that she's proud of the person he will grow up to be. It's a moment of profound self-acceptance, realizing the journey itself, not the destination, was the point all along. As the sun rises, creating a golden horizon, Eugene finally understands. He takes out his camera to take a picture of Ren, his younger self. For the first time, he can truly see him. It's the ultimate act of caring, the lesson his grandpa taught him all those years ago. After the photo is taken, Ren fades away peacefully, his purpose fulfilled. Eugene wakes up in the real world, being rescued from his car crash. The whole journey was a near-death experience, a deep dive into his own soul to heal and find his way back. He's finally ready to go home. Gaming lore is long and confusing, but I break it down every week. Subscribe so you never miss a plot twist or hidden detail. Thanks for watching.